So today we are going to be looking at the idea of time, because that is something that you guys have been talking to us constantly about in all of your opening questions for happy teachers. Time has come up in our masterclass on Monday. Time was an issue, so we are going to address those today. Absolutely.
So before we start, once again, you're just going to close your eyes and you're going to take 8 deep, long breaths. Using the breath to center you, using the breath to focus you. You are amazing at what you do, and now is the time that you invest in your own mind, so you allow yourself and your pupils to grow. You are inspirational to your pupils, you are role models to your pupils. And right here, right now, is about you expanding your mind, your growth, so that you go back after half term feeling refreshed and buzzing with excitement of new ventures to come.
So I'm going to ask you again today about how present you are right now. So drop it in the comments. What percentage are you here with us right now? Are you fully here involved, or are there lots of things going on? It's fine, there's no judgment, but get that percentage below.
And just a little reminder about that percentage, that if you start clocking that with your students, nobody that we have ever trained has virtually come up with 100%.
No.
So just be aware that asking our pupils to be 100% present all the time, is that really a fair thing? Because when I clocked that, I realised I think I had been doing that.
Yeah, we ask a lot of our pupils, don't we?
So we are looking at time today. And over the last 2 lives, what we have really talked about and really kind of shared with you is the science behind how productivity increases and how the learning centre in the brain opens up by 35%. So the first gift of time that we hand to you literally is that you need to take responsibility, investing in yourself to get your happy hormones releasing around the body, investing in the 4 areas of well-being, so that you are optimizing your own sense of self-value and happiness. Because when you do that, you are at your best self in the classroom. And the ripple effect then onto your pupils through your teaching strategies is that they are too. And when you do that, your productivity increases, the quality of your work increases, and you're using your time efficiently and making excellent choices with the work that you do.
Absolutely. Now, something that has really affected me and Meg, and it's been like a huge game changer for us, and also in schools, in our workplace, is the way that we use positive language to ourselves. So when we are looking at those to-do lists that we used to have, epic to-do lists, because let's face it, if you work in education, there are a lot of things you've got to get done, and we can't change that red tape stuff. We don't have the power of that. But what we can do is flip that mindset and use that positive language to help you get through those to-do lists. And the first thing is by getting rid of the word to do.
Or workload.
Or workload, which is even worse. We don't like those negative words. We want you to think about changing them to creations or investments. So when you are thinking about all the things that you have to get done, are you investing your time in that? So we get so used to doing lots of multitasking. It used to be a thing that multitasking was a positive thing. But actually, like Meg said at the beginning, when we tune in and we kind of stop and we focus on one thing, our productivity increases. Therefore, you do that to do much more effectively. So we really like you to think about how you are investing your time in that job. So for example, if you have some data entry you need to do, think about it more as you're investing in that pupil in that moment. So you are really thinking about that pupil. And when you're entering that data about their literacy, you're actually allowing space for you to think about ways that you can help that student grow and flourish within that subject. And as soon as you turn that positive language around, it just makes a to-do list seems so much more manageable. It becomes something that actually you want to do, and then you can use your time more effectively. Those little nuggets of 5 minutes or 15 minutes of break suddenly can allow you to get lots done, but without it feeling like a burden.
And I think that's the really, really important thing that we have observed within ourselves, that because they're creations and investments of time, rather than the feeling that I've got to do all of the things that that person is asking of me right here, right now, I'm like, oh, I've got 10 minutes. I can invest my time in 10 minutes and maybe get a chunk of that done. But I've got 10 minutes to invest my time, so I'm just going to get to the maximum what I can do. And what I found is that suddenly if I was waiting in a meeting for someone to arrive, or I'm in a situation that I'm running a workshop at school and the class is running late, I suddenly go, oh, I've got 10 minutes to invest. What could I create? And immediately, suddenly things start disappearing from all of the roles that you're trying to complete, because you're just slowly ticking away. And the reason that's happening is that because you're using positive language, you're not blocking off the happy hormone release, which then takes it away, and you're stuck with the insecurity and the fear voices going around in your head. So that is why it really, really works. We want to keep those hormones flowing all of the time.
Absolutely. So we have some of the statements and questions that you guys have sent us in our DMs over the last month or so.
Yeah.
And we thought we'd have a little look at them and then address them, and using that positive language, reframe them or reword them to help you. And then as you see these, you'll then get an idea of how you can then reword things that maybe are going on in your situations, or you can drop them below in the comments and we will help you reframe them and rethink about that positive psychology and language that you can use.
Just before we go in, we haven't really spoke about this loads over the last few lives. The brain believes what we tell it. So those voices in our head, that becomes our truth, whether they're real or not. So the fact is, you are in education. You have got to do what as much as you possibly can, and you want to deliver to the best you're going to do, right? So our theory has become, it's something we're going to do, so we might as well go into it as positively as possible, because actually it's going to happen anyway, and we can either block those hormones off with negativity, or we can actually do something proactively to try and release them further.
Absolutely. So we have a head teacher who said, how do I cut off from work when I know I have so much I could and should be doing? And I'm sure we can all relate to that in some way.
So in terms of the response with this, we've spoke a little bit about busyness. On Monday in the working shop that we did, and Bryony spoke about particularly how she used to feel she was busy all the time, and that meant she was really important, and like everybody needs me, and I'm so busy I don't get time to rest or anything else. And actually to a point that your sick days became quite
you go
regular,
to burnout, don't you? Yeah, you go into absolute burnout.
And so sometimes the hardest thing for teachers to admit is that you do have to take some time out, and you have to accept what you can't accept. You have to accept that you will maybe not get everything done that you should or could have. So this is what we suggest.
So we suggest, by having a clear work/life balance, I invest in my well-being, so I am reaching my potential in all areas of my life. My friends, family and colleagues will get the most from me when I stay true to myself. So that's just a positive way of re-looking at that statement, and something that you might have to keep telling yourself, because this, again, like we've said before, is all about consistency. So you may just saying it once in your head is then not going to change anything, but actually if you keep reminding yourself of 500 times, then it will start to embed.
Okay, so a primary teacher said, I'm so overworked, my workload is ridiculous. And I'm sure lots of you. And actually that's very similar to what the head teacher has just said. So our reframe for that would be that I am in a privileged position to have so many ways I can impact education. I will steadily and mindfully complete what is right for me at the right time. So again, it is using positive language to actually flip it and go, I've got so many emails, oh my God, this is awful, to wow, everybody needs things from me within this role, because do you know what? I'm really good at it. Every time I get a question or an email from a client now, I'm like, ding, yes, because if that inbox didn't go, you probably wouldn't have a job. So it's really that important. Every time people ask the question, sometimes we get, what do you want? And actually, you know what? They're coming to you because they think you have the answer. They think you can help them. So the minute you start flitting and reframing those kind of thoughts and questions that you have, it is really, really powerful.
Absolutely. We have something from a secondary teacher here. What do I say to my boss when I can't get everything done?
I love this one.
This is a good one. And I'm sure, again, everyone can relate to this one. So our reframe was, thank you for sharing an array of tasks with me. At this time, I realistically know that I can effectively achieve these. Can you support me in identifying within my working hours where I can complete them for you? So we are flipping it and asking their expertise.
Your boss is your boss, and they are paid the salary that they are to be your support. You are not their PA. You are not their assistant. You are a teacher. And the most powerful thing that I've learned is that when I started being honest with responses like this to people, and we've both really found this, that when we're honest, we actually often don't even get the answers that we expect, because we're going into that situation with the expectation of how someone else has responded to us previously. So on this note, what I really want you to think about is that if you don't ever tell your boss that you can't fit it into your schedule and that you would like some support positively in how they can help you achieve it, how do they know that you're not going to be able to get it done? How do they know that you're not happy doing it? Because they might be happy working every single night at home. You have to work out your boundaries of how you work. And when we work with any teachers in schools, and we do this ourselves, and in fact we've got a meeting next week to readdress our working hours within our roles, it's that you block out the time and you get done what you can in it, and you accept that anything else that doesn't fall in that time has to get done later. And you need to start to believe and trust that it will, because when in your life has it ever been to a point where you haven't? And if you haven't, that is because you need some support from your boss. So you need to highlight and share it. And we understand like that will make a lot of you go, I can't say that, I can't say that. But there's not an unkind word in there. It is literally, I'm so privileged that you want me to do these things for you, but I need you to help me now in finding a way of time when you can. And we've started doing that. And actually people respond going, you know what? I could probably get some cover for you for that session and we can have a meeting. Would that be helpful? Yes, it would.
It opens the doors to other options and opportunities which you may have been blocking before. So we urge you to give it a try. So I'm hoping that all of these ideas have given you lots of ideas to how you can reframe things that are going on in your lives. So if you can, we'd love to hear it in the comments, things that you are maybe struggling with and how you are going to relook at it using positive language. But of course our DMs are open as well, so if you don't want to share. And just to
confirm, we get, it's quite a bolshy thing starting commenting and connecting with people online that you might not have met face to face. We have seen every single entry comment that all of you have made when you joined this page. And the reason we've picked these is because basically 95% of them are a version of this. You're not alone.
No.
Nearly everybody in the group feels the same, and we can promise you with the strategies that we've adopted, we've got past that, but we were absolutely there.
Yes.
So please, if anything you're going to try this weekend, give it a go. Think about, comment below and work out what is holding you back in your job and try and rewrite it, and it will help you.
Yay.